Samantha Bee is funny and fantastic. I thought she was the perfect choice to replace Jon Stewart on The Daily Show. For whatever reason, that didn't happen. I don't know why. Sexism? Maybe. Really, actually, maybe. But she has her own show now on TBS. It's called Full Frontal. Imagine my surprise when she chose to use clips from this satirical news show on hers.
So what do you want to talk about? How white people ruined Black History Month. Stop pretending you would have marched with Martin Luther King when you don't like anyone who's marched since.
I like Martin Luther King, and I don't like Black Lives Matter. Ouch! You got me. Man, that's smarts. I only wish that my show had made such witty observations. It might have looked something like this. What would Martin Luther King think of the Black Lives Matter movement? I don't want to speculate on how a civil rights icon would feel almost 50 years after his death, but I can tell you about me. I like Martin Luther King, and I don't like Black Lives Matter.
So I think that Black Lives Matter, I actually like Black Lives Matter. I like what they're doing. I think that black people and the police's problems are the main thing keeping us from getting past race in this country, and I mean that straight. I don't think it's oversimplified at all.
Look, I enjoyed your moment with Uncle Tom. I tweeted, why can't they protest like MLK, say people who would have been pissed off by MLK?
Ah! Oh. Andy, you got me.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys took a clip out of our show, and then you rebut it with points we made on our show. That's not cool.
You know what's not cool? Using Martin Luther King as a cudgel to beat black people with.
Well, that escalated quickly, didn't it?
Is that applause from that show, or did
that was my. You don't know I have a sycophantic audience that laughs at everything I say.
I know you have a sycophantic audience. I just didn't know you had them on.
I think we were all hearing them.
Okay.
Because I did my funny double take like this. You see this? That makes them laugh.
That's good.
Rob, I think this is a comedy scandal.
Really?
Yes.
Because they ripped you off?
They took my show and pretended I was clueless when I'm not clueless.
Yeah, but
I know what I'm doing on my show.
I know you know what you're doing. I just think you're right. It's cheap. She's got a week to do that show. I think it's a weekly show, right?
She's got a week. That's my whole point. If you're a daily show, like The Daily Show was, occasionally they would use clips and they would get sloppy, and they sometimes use clips from this show. And I'm telling you, that was lazy too. Greg, sympathize with me. I think they've broken all sorts of comedy rules here.
Absolutely, Tom. No one knows that more than you do. What would a White Lives Matter rally look like? It'd be like a fish concert and like a hacky sack circle. It'd be hosted by the Harvard lacrosse team. Or the Trump. There we go. Now we're writing.
I could host it. I'd lighten it up. I would. I'd lighten up a White Lives Matter.
Are five of the whitest people on the planet really going to discuss Black Lives Matter right now? Is that what's going to happen?
Listen,
is that going down?
Okay, here's the thing. Chris Hahn, you saw the clips. We did discuss it on Martin Luther King Day, and we had a wonderful discussion. And it's very nuanced discussion, was it not?
Very nuanced discussion. I totally agree with Andy, which I rarely say. I thought he was very good in that clip. But look, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you guys be the comedy judges. I'll be the political judge.
Don't say it is what it is. Say my show is cool, and they were unfair and attacking me.
Your show's cool, Tom.
Yeah, Jedediah.
Yeah.
Look,
you're
here's
outraged.
the thing. Our show is much more politically diverse than their show. I mean, we had, as usual, in that panel, we had a couple of Democrats, an independent, a libertarian. That's the way we do things here. We have all viewpoints.
Right.
So I think there was a little bitterness there because they're all coming from one angle, right?
That's true. I mean, but people love to pick on Fox News, number one, because they like to make an assumption about what our viewpoint is. Even if you have, even if everyone at the table had a different viewpoint and you had a lot of diversity at that table, it doesn't matter, because if you put out one little edited component of it and you have Fox News at the bottom, everyone gets to laugh, oh, Fox News.
Yes.
But I don't know how people like that sleep at night, honestly, because you're not producing something that's honorable. I mean, you clearly are trying to misrepresent what you and everyone did, and that really bothers me, how people like that can stand themselves.
How do they sleep? That's what the money is for.
Yeah, exactly.
They have a really nice,
but look,
I couldn't tell you.
Fantastic.
They got the sleep
number and a water bed.
That would not do it for me.
Do you guys need privacy?
I know. Look, Greg, let's give them an out. Let's say, for the benefit of a doubt, maybe they did a search and they only played My Sex. They didn't bother to watch the whole segment. Do you think that's possible?
Lazy?
I think that's impossible, Tom. They got to get your whole viewpoint if they want to be able to put it on TV. Am I right? You can't edit like that. That's illegal.
These clips are expensive. It's a very new show.
It's illegal.
Well, like I said, they might have done a search for Martin Luther King Day. They'd gone through, you know, maybe.
Like everything else, they had an idea, and they went and they looked for something that would prove the idea. It didn't really matter.
That's it.
They should have done better. They really should. I mean, look, the thing about it is that it isn't actually, it's an interesting conversation to have because he is like this. I mean, we forget, he died, he was like 39 when he died. I mean, this guy was 25 years old during the Montgomery bus boycott. He was 34 when he made the I Have a Dream speech.
Who's this, Tom?
Yeah, right. I mean, the idea, like,
what are we talking about?
We're nothing. Like, imagine, like 34, 29 now, you're still a child, according to Obamacare. Like, the idea that there was this great man who did all that stuff when most people his age now are still living in the basement.
That's why it bothered me when they say it was, oh, Shillue, stop pretending you would have loved Martin Luther King, whatever, it's a bunch of nonsense.